So hello everyone, Monday. Welcome to my review of episode 18. So I got a pretty good episode, interesting love with Elias and Chise, even though Chise is absurdly understanding of his like hentai tactic and he's like, oh, it's fine. You're just jealous. It was kind of weird how she's so. I mean, I guess it's a patented anime, right? She has some kind of Stockholm syndrome thing. She's always like, oh, you're abusing me. Oh, it's fine. It's always like that every damn time. But that was a pretty good story part. Stella was pretty fun, even though she's almost like too mature for her age. It's only 10, and it was good there. She's just like, how old are you? 10? I'm 16. Yeah, I was like, man, this is way older than her. That's a lot of years when you're 10, 16. That's a huge difference in that age. So yeah, for this, I guess she seems to be quite a bad teacher for Elias, right? How to be, I don't know, a human or whatever it's about. But then we had this sleeping story, and we also had kind of the main bad guys back, right? Which is great. Finally, some and classic cliffhanger ending, yeah, which is the anime usually had in the beginning of the anime. So better that again. So that also is good. But the sleep story, though, I don't really get it, to be honest. I mean, I get what it was about, but I don't get kind of the point of it. I mean, we kind of show David, right? And the husband is like a very laid back. He's like, oh, we should be happy that we're alive and we're healthy. And he's like a nice husband, right? Yeah, nice, down-to-earth guy. But the story in itself didn't really bring anything to the table, I felt, honestly. I felt that she's gonna sleep magic or something. Or I guess she's just kind of generally dying or something, right? But it wasn't like that story actually didn't do much for me in the sense that how is it connected to the grand storyline, right? Something like that. So I was kind of disappointed in the episode. Generally, but I expected to be more of the big bad, right? I expected to be more of him. And then we saw him appearing with Ash and I, which I guess are teaming up for some reason. And I guess Ash and I is the guy that hurt Stella again, right? So we see Stella getting some pain there, and Wanderer walks back down. You'll walk next to her, right? He's like, hey. And then we see the Ash and I next to the Wanderer, right? And he's like kind of a shady, like illusion shape. And obviously, other people cannot see the Wanderer except Joseph, right? So, people cannot see the Ash and I. Only the Wanderer can see him. So he could be the one who hurt Stella there again, as he can't see him, right? So they're up to something. So I was quite disappointed that didn't get explained at all. They just kind of like skipped into that sleeping story. Wednesday again was kind of funny, kind of nice thing with David, but it didn't really seem to mean anything, except maybe she's learned a new spell now. And then you get, of course, to the ending, where it's like, oh yeah, it's a trap. So next episode seems to be back to the overall main story, right? Like the major narrative of them, I don't know, trying to save London, I guess. It's kind of been hinted earlier. We see this kind of dragon taking London, whatever it is, yeah. So that makes sense to me then, because he's going here now. He's kidnapping dragons with potions. So we kidnapped the potions. That was kind of weird. So they have people that apparently are kidnapping dragons. Seems to be really easy, because it's like, oh, shiny! And they run over it. So it's really easy. And then, of course, Lily kills one of them, and so kill the rest of them. And they are saved by Joseph by taking some more tentacles. As with Elias, at the last tentacle episode, he's like tentacle those guys, and then he gets back with them, right? It's kind of like, that's interesting. So I don't know. I really wish there was more of that, honestly, because the sleeping part to me, at least, what was it about, right? I mean, it's kind of generally about, you don't be happy in life and so on, but what's about in this storyline, in the competitive storyline? It didn't seem to be anything at all. The first part, at least, with the pentacle spacing and a lot of hentai, yeah, that thing was like, okay, here's Elias, his emotions, he can't control them. She's just trying to understand as well, and there's a lot of like character development and character growth in the first half. So I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, it doesn't really bring us anything with the general world of the evil guys and so on and the main guy, but it still is like a, obviously a character development bit there. So that's good then. But second half, in my opinion, at least, should have been used purely about Joseph and so on, right? Which kind of started with Stella. So then, like, 1 minute of, no, less than a minute, like 20 seconds of him there, Ash and I, into the sleeping story, and then the last second thing, that's a big tease to me. The sleeping thing just felt like a filler, right? It really did. So these elements, I love that. I feel the last 5 or so episodes. It's like, for example, when they were in the arc, kind of the Elfin Kingdom, It was kind of like, oh, she's sick, and then she's not sick, and it was like so easily. The whole story was really good, with the Banshee, right? But the other thing was like, yeah, I think a lot of this, I feel this anime so far has been, the last month or so definitely has been kind of like half the episodes are kind of like, man, the other half is pretty good. Last week, the whole episode actually was pretty good. The whole episode was like one big story, but at the same time, it felt like it didn't mean anything to the main story. But no, she actually like with him though, with Joseph, so maybe it actually meant a lot, and started to be a recurring character. So when things like back on that, but still though, it's kind of weird. I mean, it's feel the anime is like it's always been slow paced, but now it's even more like, what was that, right? So I don't know really. I really don't know honestly. I'm a little perplexed by this anime right now. I feel that it's going too slow, and I mean a lot of people complain about that earlier, right in the beginning. Then I was like, no, but this blah blah storyline. But no, I feel like, yeah, the first half was good. Second half feels kind of meaningless, at least maybe for now at least. And it feels like the anime is doing that every episode almost. So yeah, what happened to the bigger storylines or the grander backstory we saw at the beginning of the anime? So yeah, I feel disappointed a little bit, definitely. I guess that's it for me. I don't know. I'm just kind of confused and perplexed a bit. It's like, sleeping story. Just kind of idea, right? So anyway, hope that this review, and I'll see you guys next week.